Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ezra Bokondika, the country director of Family Peace Association, an organization that is fostering the promotion of the campaign that aims at strengthening the family institution. We believe that the family is the basic and core unit that drives all the dynamics of life. We want to work with you, want to support you to see that you have a more healthy, enjoyable, and fruitful relationship with your spouse and your children. Today, I want to focus at one of the most important aspects of life. And to me, it's about the current scourge that the country is going through, unemployment. Unemployment is becoming a world epidemic. It is affecting so many young people, even adults. There are those who say they're employed, but they're underemployed. The pay is far not commensurate to the efforts they give. Some end up doing what they actually never studied because they have to make ends meet. Young people every day, they keep flocking the airports, trying to seek for greener pastures away from their country, away from their people. We don't say people shouldn't engage in expert labor. Actually, many countries in the world have actually benefited a lot from export labor because that's also a source of revenue, a source of income to different communities. But what type, what quality are we really settling for? Why should we actually suffer unemployment in a country like this? Are you aware that Uganda is the pearl of Africa? Are you aware? So ideally, we must think deeply what could be the underlying causes of unemployment in our country. We really believe as Family Peace Association that unemployment is just a manifestation, is just an effect of the depleted family institution. Do we have unemployment in Africa before? The answer is no. Why now? Some will say because the population has increased. True. But I want to tell you that the more the numbers, the more the challenges. And the more the challenges, the more the need for solutions. In a country like this, we would be actually struggling to import people to come and work in different places because we have so many issues to actually address. And every issue that has to be addressed means it requires human capital or human resource. We so much think that we can fix unemployment in Uganda. We can reduce the many challenges young people are going through in a world that they actually don't have control of. Many go to Saudi Arabia, others go to Europe, others go to many other places. But the social dynamic of those places is significantly different from our social dynamic. And because of this issue of language and many other aspects of the Sharia law, they find themselves suffering instead of actually gaining meaningful employment. The terms they signed, the kind of jobs that are always advertised, they end up not finding them where they have gone, and many engage into sex work. And this actually causes them legal issues where they will have gone, because sometimes in those countries, the Sharia law is extremely strict on sexual misconduct. Because young people are also desperate in Uganda, they end up coming up with companies to make ends meet, and they can settle for anything as long as it can help them have a living. Where have we gone wrong? In my view, we can actually adequately solve the issue of unemployment through going back to the basics. What is saying going back to the roots? We must see how to fix our social dynamic. And this, in our view, is the family. Where do our young people go to? They go to work for many other families outside Uganda. They don't go to work for government. No. There's no government that can employ significantly its population, not anywhere in the world. It is the private sector. It is the community that employs its own people. I want you to go and make your own research. Young people who live this country don't go to work for government. Even if they go to Canada, even if they go to USA, even if they go to Europe, even if they go to Dubai, even if they go to Qatar, even if they go to Saudi, they go to work for families. Are you aware that the businesses that are booming in this country are actually owned by particular families? I don't want to mention names, but mention the companies that you know, mention the industries that you know in this country that do not have a background of a particular family. A family is the first unit of employment. When you have your children, as they grow, you must be molding them towards a family enterprise, because you are the first employer. The first layer of employment in all societies is actually the family. Every family must ensure that it establishes its own enterprise, depending on the resources that are sufficiently available at their disposal. Some of our families have land, sufficient land, and instead of us organizing ourselves into serious family enterprises, we end up taking our children to go and work for farms of other families in Saudi Arabia, where they're so much mistreated. Why do we allow this? Why don't we work around our own natural resources to tap into the family strength that we have and create businesses inclined to our families? Some are lucky that they have had their children go to school. Some are medical workers. Can't we put up health units? Are you aware that the need for health services in this country is actually too high? How do we tap into that opportunity as a family, if you have a medical personnel in your family, and put up something? Everything that is started grows. Mukwano began from a shop. Today it is an industry. What makes us not begin something and begin to adopt the right value systems, the right principles that can enable it to grow over time? I know in our generation, maybe we may not have it to the level we need it, but if we instill a culture into our children to take up this in many years, this can actually come to be one of the sources of employment. Every family should be the first layer of source of employment. Why must you not skill your children into what you are doing? We have a problem, friends, that we should not take lightly. Yes, we have salaried jobs, but are you aware no one will ever inherit your office? Are you aware that when you die, none of your children will inherit your office? You are only into that place or position on merit of your individual account, not on the merit of your family account. Now, as you're employed, say by public service, as you keep employed by the private sector, what are you setting up that is going to be employing your children? How do you translate your income into an investment capital for a business enterprise? These are fundamental questions that we should be actually asking ourselves. Many of our young people are on the streets. Yes, they're on the streets. They're suffering because we, the parents, are not helping them to use our, our family as a foundation for income generating, as a foundation for enterprises that are going to actually boost our self-sustainance, but also employment for our own young people. Every skill matters. Every resource matters. The first capital of any society is actually its people. Our people are our first layer of capital. The resource availability is our people. How are we tapping into the skills of young people in agriculture? How do we tap into the skills of our young people into business? How do we tap into the skills of our young people into innovation? Every problem is an opportunity. Our episode today is anchoring on the understanding that we can actually solve unemployment once we start this at the foundation of the family. The family should employ its people. Every time you produce children, look around the dream that you're going to be promoting at a family level and how each of these children will be feeding into that dream. Look into the long-term enterprise that you need to establish and how the skills the young people are learning will be feeding into that enterprise. In the next 20 years or 10 years, if each family begins to exercise the three important blessings of being productive, of being able to multiply, and dominion over nature, I can tell you, Uganda will be making adverts all over the world to come, to seek people to come and get employment in Uganda, because the small families that will be starting enterprises will balloon into big enterprises in the next couple of years, and even the numbers in the household will not be sufficient to actually run these enterprises. They'll be seeking out for people elsewhere to come and gain meaningful employment. Yes, it may not happen in 1 or 2 years, but consistency always brings sustainable outcomes. We can start from here. We can start from your family. We can start from my family. Each of us should reflect on what can we do so that we can be able to employ our people. Let's not only think about others employing our sons and daughters, others employing our spouses. We should be the people to employ our spouses, because what we do as a family lives for generation. What we do for others lives for a period. They'll need us. When they think they should terminate us, they'll terminate us at will, and we shall again go back to zero. Thank you so much for listening. We can fix unemployment in this country once we start family enterprises. Thank you for watching.